Hi, my name is Melissa, and I'm going to go through a PowerPoint of my buoy bag simulation, my marketing plan, how I did, what our numbers were, what I would change. So let's get started. So my big idea was assessing and selecting customer profiles. I had to choose the right sales funnel stage acceptable for the target audience. Applying in the marketing communications mix to choose media and vehicles to boost overall product revenue, and analyzing results to make improvements during the next quarter. So each target audience, these are our four target audiences that we had to work with throughout the entire 2 years of the stimulus. So back to school Mindy, she's 18 to 26, part-time, makes about 7,500 to 12,000. She's trendy, organized for school. She's a student, so she wants to organize her school supplies and her bags. Sue, City Hopper Sue, is our next person that we had to work with. She's 26 to 35 in age, full-time, makes 65,000 to 75,000 a year. Travels, likes sturdy, long-lasting bags. Then we had an up-and-comer Raja. He is 21 to 28, full-time, makes 45,000 to 55,000 a year. He likes the latest tech, high-end type of bags. Then our last target audience we had was Sally. She's 28 to 37 in age, part-time, makes 25,000 to 30,000. She's always about her family. She wants to keep clean in her bags. So with those target audiences, this is my key timeline goal that I did. Round one, I made 4,156,000, and up on top of that chart was the goal that we were supposed to meet. So I was about 3,000, around 300,000 shy. In the first round, I feel that I did great, but I jumped too soon. I don't think I really followed the funnel as well as I should have. Obviously, this was my first time running a campaign, so I was still a little bit learning. My second and third round, I made 12,805,000. Again, at that point, I was about 2 million short. My goal was 14 million. Again, it kind of was like with the first round. I jumped too soon. I jumped right into like the purchasing. I didn't really have time to connect with my customers for the interests. I didn't really work down the funnel until I figured out in the fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh round. I did a lot better. The fourth and fifth, I made 21,829,000. I was only about 4 million short again. Like I think that after I kind of started off slow in the first, second, and third rounds, I kind of stuck with it for the last few. My final round, as you can see on the chart that I have shown here in the slide, was 35,700,000. And my meted goal that needed to be was 45,700,000. So I was about 10 million under. So not as good as I think that what we should have done, but we definitely learned through these 2 years how to run a better campaign in the 2-year timeline. So year one, here's a little bit of a chart. We definitely spiked from year one, quarter three, up to quarter four. Like I said, that was my 4 and 5 round. I started kind of figuring out what I need to focus. I figured out 2 out of the 4 campaign listings, I guess, like what they were looking for, what it was to meet their needs. I think I slacked a little bit on the other 2, so it wasn't really making up for what I needed. And then here's year 2. Again, towards my year 2, quarter 2, 3, and 4 was just a flat line. I didn't do very well. I think because I kept sticking with the same thing, hoping that it was working. It worked in the year 1, quarter 3, hoping it would work in the year 2, quarter 3, but it didn't. I kind of played around a little bit using the same things that I learned from year 1. I think I should have experienced a little bit more, knowing that the last 2 quarters were just flats in the scale for percentages, but I didn't have enough confidence to experience a little bit more. So my success, I would say, out of this first 2-year campaign that I've ran, unexperienced, this is my first time, like I mentioned earlier in the presentation, I had at least 3 campaigns that were 3 plus, I had 3 plus under $1 marketing communications in each campaign. So that to me, I was saving money and it was working. I just wish I could have had more under $1 to make more money and profit. $10 million, I was only $10 million under a 2-year goal. Again, that seems like a lot because we're talking about millions, but I think for my first time running a campaign for 2 years, that's a good starting rate. I think that I've learned a lot in this campaign process that I know to follow those 4 steps through the funnel. I had 79,000 total bakes sold. I had 18.37% compared to competition. Again, that's about a quarter of 100%, but there's a lot of competition out there for bags. So it's a good piece of the pie that I can still grow in the future. And again, I mentioned earlier, I had 2 out of 4 correct mission statements for my target audiences, which I think is pretty well success. So if there was a year 3, I would focus on purchases my next year. I would focus on loyalty, and I would focus more on Raja and Mindy because I worked with them. I figured out their mission statement. I worked with them better to meet what their needs were in a bag. They were my top 2 customers, reliable customers. So when focusing on the purchases, our numbers are not where they needed to be. As you could see in my graphs back in the slide, I was still a little bit behind. I need to focus on the time of year and when to send out our messages. If it's during December, I want to send out those Christmas messages. I want to explode emails and letters because those are where your coupons are going to be. If it's in the summertime, probably more advertisement on billboards because people are traveling, so they're going to see more outside of the world, not at home based. Focusing on loyalty, that's a big thing for reselling repeat customers. We didn't reach our goals in purchasing, which means I didn't reach my goals in loyalty. Reaching my goals in purchasing, then coming back to loyalty at the end of year 3, I think would definitely help repeating customers. And then again, focusing on Raja and Mindy, like I mentioned, they did really well for me the past 2 years. I think I would focus more of my campaign money and purchases through what they need in purchasing a bag. And then this is my certified certificate of completion. So again, if I were to start over this campaign or start a new campaign from scratch, I definitely need to focus on the funnel. Awareness, then interest, then purchase, and always have your loyalty at the end. We kind of discussed as a group when working through the simulation of what we've learned and what we need to change. We kind of based it in the back of my mind goal that awareness needed to be at 50% for each campaign awareness, interest of awareness, and then going to interest. And then once interest is at 50%, hit the purchase. I didn't really have a method. I didn't really have a marketing plan through the funnel. I had more of a marketing plan of how to get our campaign out there through advertisement. I was more focused on what I want to spend in which category of advertisement, not following the funnel. That marketing funnel is definitely the number 1 rule in marketing. So I think year 3 would definitely change for me, if not starting over a new campaign. I think that we've all learned as a group for for the backpacks that this is something that we can definitely change and work on now that we kind of put our foot in the puddle a little bit, and we're ready to jump in for the next term. Thank you.